Welcome to Fjook Enterprise. I hope today is the first episode of Drunken Senators and more past Canadian Prime Ministers. We have tried this enough to get this out to you enough times that it should work today. Anyways, I'm the man who shares a name with the channel, the one and only Fjook. History has always fascinated me, but I realized I didn't know a lot about our Prime Ministers, even though they basically shaped Canada to what it is today. So I reached out to someone with a bit more knowledge, and together we will help each other learn more about our past Canadian Prime Ministers, and also hopefully be entertaining and educational for you. Speaking of my guests, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, this is Anthony. Yes, so third time's the charm for this video. I have a background in Canadian political science from Carleton University, and Canadian politics has always been a love in my life. I've always been interested in it, and I'm always willing to learn, and I always love to share a good story.
Go- Growing up, I really only knew three things about Sir John A. Macdonald. He was our first Prime Minister. He had to deal with Louis Riel, and he was on the $10 bill. Why did they remove him from the $10 bill?
He hasn't technically been removed from the $10 bill. Um, so the first $10 bill was issued in 1935. And this bill did not have Sir John A. Macdonald. It featured Mary the Princess Royal and the Countess of Harewood. In 1937 and 1954, again, the $10 bill would be replaced with George VI and Queen Elizabeth II. It was only in 1971 that Sir John A. Macdonald was put on the $10 bill. It is a distinction he now shares. There are currently in production three different $10 bills in circulation. There's the 2013, which has the solo bust of Sir John A. Macdonald. A second one that was done in 2017, which includes Sir John A. Macdonald, Georges-Étienne Cartier, who is the leader of the Parti Bleu and one of the French founding fathers of Canada, Agnes MacPhail, who was the first female elected to the House of Commons, and James Gladstone, who was the first status Indian to be appointed to the Senate. In 2018 marked the first time Sir John A. Macdonald had been completely removed from the $10 bill, and he was replaced with Viola Desmond, a Black Nova Scotian businesswoman who challenged racial segregation at a film theater in New Glasgow in Nova Scotia in 1946. So the replacement or the sharing of the bills is something that's still ongoing. With the $5 bill, they're currently accepting nominations for a replacement of Sir Wilfrid Laurier.
Are you saying that we currently have three bills in circulation that are legally tender, or are you saying that we're getting rid of Sir John A. Macdonald on the bill?
So we have three versions of the $10 bill that are being printed and in circulation. There are other bills that have been printed and are being removed from circulation, but the three that are listed are presently being printed and in circulation.
Is that common for a country to have three different bills in circulation and being printed for the same denomination?
For Canada, this is highly unusual, but we're exploring our history and challenging it. And I think that our bills are becoming more than just paper money to honor political figures.
Before we start talking about the human being, the man who was our first prime minister, I have a few questions. The first being, since there wasn't a secret ballot yet, how do you suppose that people voted for the government back then?
So basically, you would gather in groups, or there'd be a gathering, and people would call out who they were supporting. So it didn't hurt to be popular, and it did not hurt to have money that you could give to individuals as they were entering into the voting booth.
So you're saying Sir John A. MacDonald was popular and rich?
Well, not necessarily he was rich, but his party, like as being a founding party, they would have had some funds.
What party did he belong to?
He belonged to the Liberal Conservative Party, a party that no longer exists. It was kind of merged into the old Progressive Conservative Party, which is being merged into the now Conservative Party of Canada.
The Conservative Party really likes to merge with other right-wing parties.
It tends to splinter and then come back together under a new name.
What were the other political parties in the early days?
In 1867, federally, you had the Liberals, you had the Liberal Conservatives, you had I think federally you had a Quebec party, and you had a party that was for the independence of Nova Scotia.
The Quebec party for the separation of Quebec from Canada as well?
I do not believe it was for the independence.
Okay. So back on to talking about Sir John A. MacDonald. Multiple times you have mentioned that he was a drunk. I think the last time you mentioned that in casual conversations, we were at Sir John A. pub in Ottawa. But didn't everyone drink back in the late 1800s?
So yes, even by the standards of 19th century Canada, and even in a profession where most of his contemporaries were perpetually buzzed, MacDonald consumed shocking quantities of liquor. He would get belligerent at dinner parties. He disappeared on day-long benders, and was repeatedly seen showing up to Parliament so blasted that he could barely talk. This would have destroyed lesser men, but the fact that Canada tolerated MacDonald's boozing for so long may just be the greatest testament of how skilled he could be when he was sober.
I know he ran and got elected. Obviously, he got elected the first time, in the first election, as our Prime Minister. And then in the second election, he got elected again. What did he do during those first two terms?
Okay, so in his first administration, his primary purpose was to build a nation. Communications between the provinces were essential, and to this end, MacDonald began the Transcontinental Railway. Would run from Halifax to Pacific Coast and include Canada's two new provinces of Manitoba and British Columbia, and the Northwest Territories. Under MacDonald's leadership, Canada gradually achieved a certain degree of autonomy from Britain in foreign affairs. He also brought in a system of tariffs to protect Canadian products from foreign imports, especially those from the United States, in order to boost economic growth.
You've mentioned a few incidents regarding Sir John A. MacDonald being drunk and using it to his advantage. Do you recall those incidents?
Perhaps the most famous example concerns the time MacDonald overindulged during the train ride to a campaign debate in Northern Ontario, and then ungraciously threw up on stage while his opponent was making his opening remarks. His opponent, whose name has been lost to history, stopped speaking mid-sentence. Everyone stared at MacDonald. Collecting himself, he turned and addressed the crowd. "Mr. Chairman and gentlemen, I don't know how it is, but every time I hear Mr. speak, it turns my stomach." According to the reporter on the scene, the audience went off in fits of laughter, and the disgust was instantly turned into general good humor. If this was any lesser of a man, this would have completely ruined their political career, especially in this modern day of social media.
So from what I'm gathering, the fact that he got elected majority government 2 times and did this well-known stunt, he had a silver tongue.
That's putting it lightly.
On doing my part of the research, I noticed that our second prime minister became our prime minister because Sir John A. stood down in 73, resigned from prime. Why did Sir John A. resign in 73?
So there was the Pacific Railway scandal where 150 members of the Conservative Party were caught accepting bribes and various favors.
How many members?
150.
That seems like a lot.
It was. It was. It was half of the Commons at the time.
Was Sir John A. MacDonald one of the 150 that was taking bribes?
It's not necessarily certain if MacDonald himself was complicit. MacDonald definitely did claim that he was innocent, although there was evidence that came to light showing receipts of money from Allen to MacDonald and some of his political colleagues. But the fact that it was his party that had accepted the gross majority of the $360,000, which is an abundant amount of money at that time, it was imperative that he resign.
So John A. MacDonald was our prime minister for a very long time. Not the longest, but in like the top 10 at least.
Yep. He served from 1867 to 1873, and then 1878 to 1891.
So there's obviously more to talk about for Sir John A. MacDonald. So we're going to break this into multiple parts. But why don't you give the folks a teaser, Anthony?
So I'll give them one little story that I found in my research, and the credits go to c2cjournal.ca. And that it is in 1986, MacDonald took his first and only cross-country trip on the CPR, the Canadian Pacific Railway. Along the ride was a Catholic bishop from Belgium on a tour of the Belgian immigrant communities in Manitoba. At one of the whistle stops, the bishop was surprised to see the local Scottish population turned out in full Highland regalia to welcome MacDonald. Having never seen a man in a kilt before, the Catholic bishop from Belgium asked MacDonald for an explanation. MacDonald assured him that this was simply a sign of respect. He remarked that in some places men take off their hats to honor a distinguished visitor. A straight-faced prime minister informed the bishop. In this town, he explained, men take off their trousers.
Oh, as I'm trying to always say at the end of videos, comment, comment, comment. Thank you for your help, Anthony.
No worries. Okay, have a good evening.